Many farmers rely on the income they make from selling cereal crops, such as rice, maize, wheat, or sorghum. But when farmers grow cereals in the same field year after year, it depletes nutrients from their soil. While farmers seek to make profits each season, they must balance the long-term investment required to keep soil healthy.
هنشوف إن هو إنتاجه بيقل، المحصول بتاعه ما بيجيبش زي أول سنة مثلا.
Without crop rotation, farmers see their yield decline, while weeds and diseases increase. The soil depletes and farmers need additional labor to get rid of weeds. To compensate, they increase their use of chemicals. In fact, it should be a more economical process so that the farmers get the most yield at the lowest cost. But for some reason, I see them do the opposite. They farm in a way that reduces their yield over time.
بأقل تكلفة بأعلى إنتاج. هو بقى بيعمل العكس. بيزرع محصول بتكلفة أعلى بإنتاج أقل.
The extensive and inappropriate use of agrochemicals is destroying soil life and puts farmers in debt as they see their profits dwindle year after year. This is why in Egypt, like many other countries, crop rotation has become increasingly important.
طبعا القمح جدره ليفي، بتحس انه زي الالياف كده وعلى ما بيمشيش عمق اكتر في الارض. الفول بيوصل جدره ل 20 او 22 ممكن يقارب لحاجه 25 سم. البرسيم برضه جدره وتد بتلاقي لك رفيع كده ونازل في الارض عدل. غير المحاصيل الثانيه. الحلبه انا عن زرع حلبة.
Wheat roots are very shallow, unlike the roots of fava beans which are double the length. Also, lucerne or alfalfa and fenugreek have very long roots and can pull nutrients from deeper parts of your soil. When you plant different types of plants with different roots, it helps nutrient cycling.
فاحنا لما نزرع هنا السنه دي وتدي ونروح بعد كده السنه الجايه نزرع ليفي او نغير الوتدي مكان الليفي، بننوع الجذور في التربه ما تفضلش على جذر واحد، فكل المحاصيل بتستفاد من المكان من ورا بعضيها.
هو الفول زرعه منتجه وزرعه كويسه وبتدي للارض.
Fava bean is very productive and enriches the soil for many years. The same thing for lucerne. If you plant the same crop, yield will decline. In one winter, if you will plant fava bean, then you should rotate with wheat the following year. You alternate the plants in your field so that they produce better harvests.
وانت بتزرعي مره قمح ومره فول. لازم تنوعي في الارض. الارض ما تنفعش زرعه واحده كل سنه.
While crop rotations reduce weeds, pests, and diseases, rotating with legumes also adds nutrients to your soil. Legumes include crops like lucerne or alfalfa, fava bean, soya bean, lupins, chickpeas, fenugreek, groundnut, peas, and lentils. Legumes produce their own nitrogen to grow. Even more interesting is that they slowly release nitrogen in the soil through their roots and crop residues when left in the field. The leftover nutrients can be used by the next crop.
الفرق بين الارض الفول ده ارض باج عافيه. الفول ده هو فيه في نسره من تحت كده عباره عن عقد، دي عم تخص بأزوت في الارض. عم تقعد يسيب.
When I harvest fava bean, I leave the roots in the soil. This gives the soil nutrients for the next crop and aerates the soil. If you walk along fields of summer maize, you can easily tell which field had wheat or fava bean as winter crop. The maize planted after the fava bean harvest will have stronger, thicker stems and larger maize ears. You harvest more and of a better quality at less cost. Any crop planted after fava bean gives great results.
أكتر من كان القمح، لأن يتهوى أرضه باج. الفول زمان كنا نقول الفول ده أرضه باج، نزرع مكانه أي محصول يجيب 100%.
So why are legumes unique? Unlike other crops, legumes collaborate with soil-living bacteria that fix nitrogen from the air. When legume seeds germinate, these so-called rhizobium bacteria are activated in the soil. They move towards the sprouting roots and penetrate them. As a result, the legume roots form pale pink nodules in which these bacteria live. By capturing nitrogen from the air, the bacteria make the soil more fertile. Lifelong organic farmer Hagg Siddiq has uprooted one of his fava bean plants to show us the nodules.
فلاح ما يعرفش اما يعرف ان فيه دي عقد بكتيريا بتفيد التربه.
When farmers know about the nitrogen-fixing bacteria and how it benefits their soil, they will appreciate it. Legumes preserve soil fertility and don't harm the land. By planting them in crop rotation, it reduces weeds. If farmers continue to plant the same crop, they increase weeds and soil disease.
هيزود الحشائش يزود الآفات داخل التربه.
If you want to plant a legume crop, you need to double-check a few things first. Firstly, ensure that your soil is suitable to grow legumes. All legume crops are sensitive to salt. So, check for salt deposits on your soil, or whether your irrigation water, especially well water, is salty. Or you can tell by looking at your maize crop. While wheat and sorghum can tolerate salt, maize will grow weak and wither in a soil that is unsuitable for legumes.
والله هو بالنسبة للأرض بيعتبر نبات الذرة كالشاة.
To know whether your soil is suitable for legumes or not, you can tell by the health of your maize plant. Maize is a good indicator for salt levels in the soil.
نبات الذرة هو اللي بيدلك على إن الأرض هتبقى سليمة أو فيها أي حاجة.
Secondly, on land where no legumes have been cultivated before, these beneficial bacteria may not be available in your soil. Without these bacteria, your legume crop will use nitrogen from the soil and not replenish it. It is best to inoculate the seeds of your legume crop with rhizobium bacteria. As the seed germinates, the bacteria will directly enter the new roots as they grow. You can buy inoculant with rhizobium bacteria at your local agro shop. While some bacteria can inoculate different legume crops, other bacteria are specific to each crop. Select the type of inoculant that best suits the crop you want to grow. 0.5 kilogram of inoculant is enough for 0.5 hectare. If your soil is very sandy, double the amount of inoculant. Most inoculant is sold as a powder. Check the expiration date on the package, as the bacteria may be dead once expired. As the bacteria in the inoculant are very sensitive to heat and will die in the sun, take care to keep the inoculant cool during transport, away from extreme heat or sunlight. Coat your seed on the day of sowing. You will need a sticky liquid, such as molasses or honey, to make the inoculant stick to the seeds. Or make a syrup by mixing several cups of sugar in a liter of water so that it is thick and sticky. Don't use tap water, as the chlorine in it can kill the bacteria. For 10 kilograms of seed, 1 cup of sticky liquid is more than enough. The idea is to just put a thin coat on all the seeds. Never add too much of the sticky liquid, or else it can make your seeds rot in the soil. Gradually add the inoculant powder over the seeds. Use your hands to coat all the seeds evenly. If for any reason you are not able to plant the seeds right away, move them in the shade and cover them with a sheet. Rhizobium are soil-living bacteria, so any exposure to direct sunlight will kill them. Air dry your coated seeds in the shades and plant within 24 hours. After seeding, irrigate your soil well, as legume seeds need to be well soaked to trigger germination. Now it is a matter of time to let the bacteria do their work. About 4 to 8 weeks later, when your legume plants are flowering, the nodules start to be visible. It is crucial at this stage to verify whether the rhizobium bacteria are active. Uproot 5 to 10 plants from different parts of your field. There should be at least 30 nodules per plant. But just having nodules is no guarantee that the bacteria are fixing nitrogen. You must also check the color inside the nodules. Gently wash the soil from the roots and slice open 2 to 3 nodules per plant. The bacteria are fixing nitrogen if the inside of the nodules is pink or red. It should not be white. If your crop had good nodulation, the bacteria can survive in the soil 3 to 5 years. That is, if you don't use any chemicals and you keep your soil in good condition. In organic farms where different legumes are grown, you will likely find a diversity of rhizobia present in the soil. Some organic farmers also grow legumes alongside other crops in the same field.
Anise is a medicinal plant, while chickpea is a legume that captures nitrogen from the air and adds it to its soil. It benefits the anise plant next to them, as well as the plants following them in the next crop rotation. The legumes leave bacteria in the soil that continually improve fertility.
Let us review what we have learned. Growing the same crop year after year will deplete nutrients from your soil. It will also increase weeds, pests, and disease. Legumes are important in crop rotations because they reduce weeds and enrich the soil by partnering with nitrogen-fixing bacteria in the soil. To be sure your soil has the right bacteria, you can buy inoculant of Rhizobium bacteria. Keep the inoculant cool and in the shade until you are ready for planting. You will need a sticky liquid, such as molasses or honey, to make the inoculant stick to the seeds. Air dry the seeds in the shade and plant within a day. Carefully uproot some of the plants at the flowering stage and open the nodules to check they are pink or red inside. Rhizobium bacteria can survive several years in your soil, so you do not need to inoculate your legume crop every time. By including legumes in your crop rotation, you can work with nature and be sure of higher profits now and for the time to come.